Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back. What a disaster of a weekend that was. Arsenal, absolutely useless. Embarrassing. Man United went there, got 3 points. Chelsea get 3 points, of course, after Liverpool's embarrassing loss. And it's exactly what we deserved. They took full advantage. We've been getting away with it. Chelsea have been dropping points. Man United have been dropping points. And they capitalised this weekend. We are an embarrassment. We're in trouble, people. We are in trouble. It's that simple. We're in trouble. Top 4, top 5, whatever it is. It's looking dodgy. Let's be honest. Because if you look at the 3 teams, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool. Man United have found form. I mean, what is going on at Manchester United? Honestly, they actually look decent at the moment. Chelsea, bit of form. The new manager bounce for both teams is definitely working. And Liverpool are going backwards. We look absolutely terrible, people. We look terrible. It's getting worrying now. Because if Everton win tonight, by the way, they are a point behind us. 5 wins in 18 games we have. It's relegation form. To start the season, we had 5 wins in a row. We beat Everton 2-1. And since then, it has been a disaster. 5 wins in 18 games. But even the first 5 games of the season, there was something not right. And we were making excuses because Liverpool were getting the 3 points. It's a sign of a good team. You're still winning. It was a sign of a bad team. It was the sign of a team that was getting away with it. And we're not getting away with it now, people. We can't even beat Burnley at home. We can't beat Leeds at home. And we conceded 3 goals against a team that had 1 win in 14. We're in trouble, people. Make sure you hit the like button, everybody. 100 likes is the target every time we do a stream. It's been shocking, people. Deadbeats is in the chat. After that performance in first 11 he picked, I'm nearly in the slot out gang. I mean, I just don't see it improving. I really don't. I was watching a bit of Monday Night Football there. Jamie Carragher was showing clips of the game. The very same thing from the Bournemouth game. The very first game of the season, people. Too easy to play against. We're getting caught on the counter-attacks. Bournemouth, it was cruise control. And then the last, 10 minutes, end to end, we can't cope with the counter-attacks. Very same thing happened on the very first game of the season against Bournemouth. It just hasn't improved. Marcus says, I think because it's top 5, you will steal it. We have to. We have to, Marcus. It's that simple. It would be a disaster to spend that money to be Premier League champions and then not make the Champions League the following season. It'd be embarrassing. It really would. Because it's going to be Man United and Chelsea finishing above us, if that's the case. It would be embarrassing. James is slot out now. It's not going to happen, people. We play Qarabag on Wednesday. I mean, that has to be 3 points, but you don't know. And then the Newcastle game. If he fails to win those 2 games, he has to go. It's that simple, people. I mean, we're just so poor. How did we get so bad? Hindsight is a great thing. Hindsight is a great thing. But in the summer, we were all, we're all thinking, wow, this team, we're not just going to compete for the league, we're going to compete for the Champions League. We're probably even going to win everything. And look at the state of us. Look at the state of us. It's just been a shambles. Actually, people, how many people in the chat? We've got 38 people in the chat. I'm going to go through the team from the Bournemouth game. Now, let me get this up for you. Obviously, these are not my ratings. I mean, they give Szoboszlai 8.7. Salah a 7.2. Okay, we're going to go through the team. Alisson only gets a 4.7, which is a bit harsh. He did concede 3 goals, but he wasn't at fault for any of them. So, Right, as I say, Alisson, he did concede 3 goals, but he wasn't really at fault. Frimpong came off. Still don't understand. Was he injured? I'm not sure, but it made no sense to me. Kirkes was taken off at half time. He made a mistake for the goal, obviously, but I didn't think it was that bad of a performance. Van Dijk was woeful. Absolutely woeful. Joe Gomez, again, is made of glass. The midfield of Gravenberch and McAllister, non-existent, especially a counter-attacking. And it's worrying people. Ryan Gravenberch should be there, sitting in front of the back two, to protect when a counter-attack happens. He's not there. Too far forward. McAllister non-existent again. Szoboszlai, his usual performance. He runs around a lot. He scored a goal. Salah was woeful, people. He was actually woeful. Salah should have been taken off. Gakpo was terrible again. Now, Florian Wirtz, people, right? Now, I have admitted on this channel that I got it wrong about him. I got it wrong about Florian Wirtz. He has the quality to be a very good player. He has the quality to be a very good Liverpool player. He's definitely good enough for Liverpool. And I have said I was wrong, okay? But still, when he puts in a performance like that, I can still criticise him. That was embarrassing from him. It was terrible. It was shocking. I mean, I remember the pass that he tried to make. Well, I don't even know if it was a pass. I think it was around the 88th minute, and it goes out for a goal kick. We were on a counter-attack. I think it was 3v3. Just into Bournemouth's half of the pitch, and I don't know what he was trying to do, and it goes out for a goal kick. Embarrassing, people. It was an embarrassing performance from him. I was fuming. Not just him, of course. The substitutes that came on. Endo, to be fair to him, he done well. Playing out of position, because the club, of course, have decided that January, no, we're sorted. We're sorted, people. We do not need players. Andy Robertson didn't do much. I was surprised he came on. Curtis Jones, again, too slow. Ekitike, I mean, the man is quality. Didn't really get much of a chance. Liverpool's best player in the second half was Rio Ngamoha. Should have won a penalty. Won the free kick that got the goal. He was always dangerous. But it's worrying, people. It is worrying. Because if you look at that team on paper, that team is good enough to be beating Bournemouth. That team is good enough to not concede 3 goals. We're in trouble, people. We are in serious trouble. Brian says the whole team look disinterested. I wonder, look, it's all down to, this comes back to the manager again. These tactics, this system, this style, it's woeful. And you just wonder, are the players, because they're executing the system, now they're not playing well. They need to have a look at themselves as well. But are they thinking in the back of their minds, lads, this is not working. This is not working here. We are too open. It's too slow, everything. Liverpool chat says Slaw has to go ASAP. It's not going to happen, my friend. Not going to happen. He definitely has the next 2 games at least. And it's just Man United. Watching them yesterday. I mean, look, it says more about Arsenal because Arsenal are an embarrassment. But Man United in the last 2 games, they're starting to worry me now. Because I've said this before. Man United now have a performance that they can go back to and they can say, right lads, that's the performance. That's the benchmark. That's the standard. If we play like that every game until now, until the end of the season, we'll win the majority of them games. Chelsea, yesterday, new manager. The new manager bounce, he's getting a bit of a reaction out of him. They went to Crystal Palace, a tough place to go. Liverpool lost there, of course. 3-1, standard, no problems. They can go back to that performance and they can say, that's the standard. If we play like that for the rest of the season, we'll win the majority of these games. Liverpool do not have a performance like that. We don't have one performance in the league this season where we can go back to it and say, that's the way to play. People might think the Aston Villa game. Aston Villa, Emi Martinez passed the ball right to Salah, open goal. Aston Villa hit the post in the first 10 minutes. We do not have one performance where Man United were like against Man City, or yesterday, or Chelsea against Crystal Palace. which is a tough place to go, people. We do not have one performance. 5 wins in 18 games. It is just, it's bizarre how bad we are. It really is. Eamon says, I think Villa will win the league. I think that would be absolutely unbelievable. I don't think it'll happen because I just don't trust them. I don't trust them in a run-in. You look at them against Everton last week. I mean, if they had won that game, they're at home to Everton. They'd only be a point behind Arsenal. They lost. I think they have a result like that in them. And that's the problem. That is the problem. It's exhausting watching us win in the Champions League and then go to the Premier League and lose. It makes it all feel pointless. Remember when we beat Frankfurt 5-1 in the Champions League? One of the best performances. Absolutely unbelievable. The following game, people, who did we lose to? Brentford. 3-2. It's 2 completely different competitions. We're not carrying any form from the Premier League into the Champions League. We're not carrying any form from the Champions League into the Premier League. It is 2 completely different competitions. Jamie Carragher on Monday Night Football just said that Liverpool are not built for the Premier League. He's been saying that all season, to be fair to him. He's spot on. Conspiracy said he's lost the crowd, players, he's out of his depth. Dermot says, look at the bounce United have got by getting rid of Amarim. They're playing with almost freedom. There's no fear. I mean, they didn't really respect Arsenal yesterday, and rightly so, and look what happened. And Man United deserve to win the game. I mean, Mikel Arteta. The one day I actually wanted Arsenal to win. And, of course, it's always great to watch Man United lose. So I was really hoping Arsenal would win. When Man United scored the first goal, I was thinking, Arsenal are not winning this game. Man United are not going to lose this. It could be a draw, but Arsenal are going to bottle this. It's a fact. And that's exactly what they did. And now we are in 6th position, people. And it's exactly where we deserve to be. Okay, it's embarrassing, but it's where we deserve to be. It's not getting any better. We don't look good. Him says Arsenal are a set-piece team. You're being a bit harsh. You're being a bit harsh because you forget they are also an own goal team. Another own goal yesterday. Another set-piece. I mean, you look at the table. It's so frustrating, people. It's so frustrating. If Liverpool were any way decent, we would be in a title challenge. We would be in a title race with this Arsenal team. Man City are inconsistent. If we were any way decent, but no, we are worse than average. And I have a fear, I think it's going to get worse for us. I think it is. Honestly, I can't see us finishing in the top 4 or 5. I think looking at Saturday, when you look at the season as a whole, Saturday was not like a once-off performance. That has been happening every single game this season. We've been getting away with it. But you go back to the Crystal Palace game, the 6th game of the season, I think it was, our first defeat. What happened? We lost in the last minute from a long throw. Very same thing Saturday night. You know, you're talking, is it 18 games later and the same problems are happening? Michael's in the chat. It's just, I don't know what's going on, people. I think it's going to get worse. I really do. I mean, we've got Newcastle next. Now, I watched a bit of Newcastle yesterday. I was keeping an eye on the Chelsea game more than anything. But it's definitely, you know, Newcastle won't go there without with fear. So if Newcastle were to beat Liverpool, They go above us then. You know, Fulham are only 2 points behind us. Brentford only 3 points behind us. If Everton win tonight, which they probably should, they are level on points with us. I actually thought they were going to be a point behind. Oh no, sorry. That's the point that they have at the moment because it's a draw. 2 more. They'll be a point behind us. I mean, it's for a team. And look, as I keep saying, hindsight is a great thing. In the summer, we were all saying, wow, look at the moves that this club is making. We're going to dominate, people. We are going to dominate. Look at the state of the squad, people. Look at the state of it. All the players that Liverpool have bought in the summer, with the money that they've spent, they're all for the first 11. Did we buy a squad player? Leone, who's out for the season, by the way. Did we buy a squad player? You could say Ekitike and Isak were always going to fight it out for the starting position. I mean, Wirtz was always going to play. Kirkes is the starting left back. Frimpong was always going to be the starting right back. No players for the squad. If anything, I think I seen something the other day. Liverpool pretty much brought in 6 players and they sold 8 players. I think that includes what happened to Diogo Jota. May he rest in peace. So basically 6 players in, 8 players out. That does not make sense. The squad is not good, people. The squad is not good. Unreal letting Robbo go. No, Robbo is staying now, Eamon. They've decided to keep him. Because they realise that it is shocking. Donny says we went from believers to doubters. Donny, it's gone to the stage now where we're not doubters, we're realist. We're realistic. We're not delusional. You know, we could all sit here and say, no, I believe that it's going to get better. We're going to finish in the top 3, never mind the top 4. We're going to be worse, people. It's getting worse. Christina's in the chat. Yeah, Robertson is staying. It made no sense. No, it made sense for him. And I think we all said, wish him the best. Best of luck, what a legend. But it didn't make sense for Liverpool to let Andy Robertson go. So he's staying. Eliza John says Virgil is 35 in July. Over the hill. Sell him in the summer. I mean, it's crazy because last season, Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk, they earned new contracts. Okay, they did. Okay, they definitely did. It wasn't anything to do with sentimentality or anything that they got new contracts. It was because of their performances. And if the club hadn't have given them a contract, and the season that we're having, we'd still be having, every one of us would be saying, how could you let Mo Salah go? How could you let Virgil van Dijk go? Why didn't you give them a new contract? So it's crazy the way it worked out. You can't really blame the club because they earned the new contracts. Every single Liverpool fan wanted them to stay. But in hindsight, and hindsight is 2020, it's been a mistake. Salah's finished. He is finished, people. He will leave in the summer. And Virgil van Dijk, who is an absolute legend, in my opinion, the best centre-half to ever play in the league, he's just past his best. He's 34 at the moment. You're never going to reclaim that. You're never going to get it back. This is it now, and it's if anything, it's just going to get worse with him. You know, he's never going to be the player that he once was. It's a shame. But this goes back to the club then. As I say, you can't blame the club for giving them the new contracts because they earned it. But you can blame the club for not getting centre-half. They tried in the summer. They brought in Leone. Unfortunately, he gets injured. They missed out on Mark Eady. But how were you not getting one in January? When you effectively thought you were going to have 2 new centre-halves in the summer. And because of circumstance, injury, and you missed out on them, you missed out on 2 players. And you're not going to go into the January transfer window and get 1. That makes no sense, people. It makes no sense. I don't get it. I do not get it. And you see on Saturday, Joe Gomez is made of glass. Kanate, thoughts with his family and him, of course. He's going through a tough time. So we don't know when he's going to be back. Endo playing beside Virgil van Dijk. Because there's no squad depth. They've left the squad short. It's that simple. Just so frustrated, people. I really am. So frustrated because us as fans, we can see the problems in this team. They cannot counter it. They can't cope with the counter-attack. They're not physical enough. But every single week we're seeing the same shite. Every single week. What are they working on in training? And I'm still convinced that Arne Slot is going into these games and he's like, no, why are they playing a different way than we prepared? That's not fair. It's football, people. It's like as if he's shocked. But these aren't the tactics that we worked on. What are they doing? Oh, people, what is going on? Michael says he's not even looking forward to the weekend. It's going to be a tough game. Even if Liverpool win, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be such a struggle. Newcastle will park the bus and they will play counter-attack. And Eddie Howe, to be fair to him, he will play that. He has no problems playing that. He will look at the opposition and he'll say, this is how Liverpool are going to play. This is what Liverpool struggle with. So that's the way we're going to play. Hesh Ventura says, Gatey to Man City and now Gomez injured. Horrible season. So disappointing. It honestly is. Derek says, Slot out. Look, he's not going anywhere yet anyway. I still want Liverpool to win on Wednesday. I still want Liverpool to beat Newcastle. I want Liverpool to win. Okay? I'm not one of these that, oh no, hopefully Liverpool lose so the manager will be gone. No. I want Liverpool to win. But it's such a struggle, people. It's such a struggle. Eamon says, Alisson lost the game on Saturday. No, to me it shouldn't have came to that. Last minute. No, I wouldn't really blame Alisson for that, to be honest with you. The man is a legend. And when that man goes, here's the problem that we have as well, people. Here is the big problem that we have. Salah's finished. Van Dijk is pretty much finished. And they've bought Alisson's replacement. And I am worried about that. Because we have a goalkeeper that is not anywhere near good enough for Liverpool Football Club. It's worrying, people. It really is. Christine says, yes, you were right, David. Squad depth is abysmal. Can't see it, the fans can. This is the frustrating thing, Christine. We're going into January. Everybody knows we need a centre-half. We need a centre-half badly. And they're not even trying. There's a week to go on the transfer window. We're not even linked with anybody. The players that we are linked with, it's for the summer. Okay. Are we going to be in the Champions League? Are you going to get these players that you want when we're in the Conference League? Or we have no European football? Sell it to them now. Sell it to them now. Say, look, we're struggling. We need you. You're going to play. We're still in the Champions League. We're still in the FA Cup. We're still fighting for the top four. You're waiting till the summer when it could be completely different circumstances. It just makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. And this, as I say, hindsight is a great thing. But for a club to spend 450 million, the narrative is Liverpool have spent 450 million and they've gotten worse. And here is the reason, okay? When you spend 450 million, or at least when Liverpool spend 450 million, that should be 10, 11 players. It was 6. The prices last summer were crazy. Now, as I say, hindsight, okay. At the time, I think we were all fairly happy with it. Isak for 130 million. Ekitike for pretty much 100 million. Wirtz for 100 million. People, there's 3 players. And that's basically 300 million for 3 players. Liverpool, if you're going to spend that money, you should be buying at least 11 players. It's 6 players. 450 million on 6 players. And you ended up losing 8 players. The thing that really bugs me as well, Chiesa. Okay, Chiesa. Now look, Chiesa off the bench is good. He's not good enough to start for Liverpool. He's not good enough for Liverpool. Arne Slot does not rate Chiesa. We knew this last season. He does not rate him. He does not play him. The fans want to see him. He doesn't care. He's not playing him. He left him out of the Champions League squad. Why are you not selling him and getting somebody in that Arne Slot actually likes? And Arne Slot wants to play. Why are you keeping Chiesa? Even if Chiesa doesn't want to go, tell him, you are not playing, out the door. We're selling you. And we're going to get somebody in that Arne Slot actually wants to play. And then it'll boost the squad. Because guess what? Rotation. I don't know, people. I'm speechless. I'm speechless what's going on. I just can't find the answer. So many problems at the club. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. No, I get that. I feel a lot for Chiesa. He tries his best. 100%. 100%. The man loves the club and I love that about him. I love the energy he brings. But he's not good enough for Liverpool. And Arne Slot does not rate him. So why did Liverpool keep him? What was that about? He's basically taken up a position on the bench. Arne Slot looks at the bench. Who will I bring on? Well, I'm not bringing on Chiesa because I don't like him. I don't rate him. Put somebody on there that he does rate. That we can actually have as an option. It is just frustrating. And when you look at Man United and Chelsea, I mean, when you watch them the last couple of games, well, say this weekend even, they're a million miles ahead of us. A million miles ahead of us. And I never thought I'd be saying that about Man United. I just mean in on the pitch, obviously. Currently, Man United at the moment, they're on cloud 9. They've played, on paper, the two toughest fixtures you have. And they've won them both relatively comfortably. They destroyed Man City. And against Arsenal, 2 world-class goals. But Arsenal never really looked like scoring, unless it was an own goal or a set piece. So for me, I think Man United are certs for top 4 now. I think they're absolute certs. Because the confidence that's going to give them. They're playing with freedom. Michael Carrick is managing with freedom because he knows at the end of the season, doesn't matter whether he loses every single game, he's gone. So he has nothing to lose. And Liverpool are struggling. They are struggling big time, people. If we get top 4, I think that would be some achievement at this stage. I really do. Derek says, bring Alonso in and you will see a big change. Yeah, I think we all agree, Derek, to be fair. But I just don't think the club's going to do it. I think they're going to wait till the summer. Unless Liverpool were to lose to Qarabağ and Newcastle. Who have we got after that, actually? Let's have a look at these fixtures. 5 wins in 18, people. I'm frustrated now. Tried my best to be positive with it all. Let's get this up here. Right. We've Man City at home. Man City going for the title. Then we've Sunderland away. I mean, we've seen Arsenal at Sunderland, struggled. Man City at Sunderland, struggled. Liverpool versus Man City. I mean, look at those fixtures, people. Newcastle, Man City, Sunderland, Brighton is in the cup, Forest away, West Ham at home. Look, if we were actually playing well and we were in a title race, I'd be saying, oh, them fixtures are tough. Them fixtures are tough. When you're not playing well, those games could be anything. Absolutely anything. Liverpool could actually beat Newcastle and Man City and then lose to Sunderland and West Ham. We have some tough games coming after Karabakh. Where are they actually in the table? They're 18th in the table. Like, we have to be beating that team on Wednesday night. We have to. No excuses. We have to. 1-0 to Leeds. That'll do. Okay. Okay. Christine asked, honestly, Dave, do you think Alonso would be the right manager for Liverpool? It's hard to know, Christine. I've always said this about Alonso. I'm in a bit of two minds about him because I think the jury is out on him, I'll be honest. But you see what he did at Leverkusen. Look, the German league is not the Premier League. We know that. I don't really mind what happened with it at Real Madrid, because it's Real Madrid. I think it's a terrible club, in my opinion. You know, the players are the ones with the power there, not the manager. It could be very good. I don't know. We just have to wait and see. I'm not going to sit here and say Alonso is the man to get us back winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. I'll be honest, I just don't know. But I think we can all agree that Arne Slot is not going to get this right now. And I never thought I'd be saying it. And I held off. I held off as long as I could, people. But it's just so frustrating. Dermot asked, Dave, are we still winning the Champions League? Should I be at the bookies tomorrow? Dermot, do it for the crack. Do it for the crack. What are the 12 to 1? We'll keep that one going for the crack. I'm not saying it with any confidence whatsoever. But fuck it, we're going to win the Champions League. Oh, I don't know. I'm not joking, you people. When PSG won the Champions League last season, the next day I said Liverpool are winning the Champions League next season. They are. They're winning the Champions League. Made the video the day after the final, and it wasn't just a kind of, what's this man talking about? I was fully convinced. And look at the state of us. But no, I'm going to stick to my prediction because I said it. Fuck it, sure. What about it? We'll have a bit of crack with it anyway. I look like an idiot. Who cares? I predicted Arsenal to win the Premier League. Dave, we ain't winning the Champions League. But this is the thing about the Champions. You look at Liverpool's form in the Champions League. Now, Jamie Carragher mentioned in Monday Night Football, Liverpool are not built for the Premier League, but they might actually be built for the Champions League. Because Europe, it is woeful, people. Woeful. So you never know. You never know. In 2005, that team was shocking, and we ended up winning the Champions League. I wonder, here's a question for you. Here is a question for you. If Liverpool were to get a different manager, do you think we'd win the Champions League? Do you think the team is good enough in the Champions League to win it? I'm going to say yeah. We're winning the Champions League. Derek says Barca would rip us apart, probably. Sure, everyone else is. Everyone else is. Marcus says, got a better chance than us. We may not even be in the Champions League next month, he meant. I think City will be alright. I really do. I think their confidence is back. I think they'll be watching Arsenal yesterday and thinking, there is no way we can let this team beat us. I think watching that game yesterday. Now I know City are struggling. They only beat Wolves on Saturday. You know, you wouldn't be getting too carried away. Yeah, Marcus says Chelsea finished 10 to 1. Remember that? So, look, the Champions League is knockout. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, Hax is not confident. We're not winning anything this season regardless. Another rebuild in the summer, though, people, regardless of what happens. I'm having a bit of crack with the whole winning the Champions League thing. But there's another rebuild needed in the summer because we've got it so wrong. As I keep saying, 450 million spent. That should be 10, 11 players. Get the squad. Look at Arsenal's squad. They just don't have the right manager. But look at Arsenal's squad compared to Liverpool's. How is that possible? So, too many changes last summer. And it's just completely backfired on us. It really has. So frustrated. Typical Everton too, isn't it? Who scored for Leeds? Justin. Typical Everton. They go to Aston Villa to get an unbelievable win. And then they can't win at home to Leeds. But that suits us actually, because Everton would have only been a point behind us. That just shows you how bad of a season we're having. I remember last season, we thought we were going to win everything. So let's be real. I tell you, people, the signs were there second half of the season, weren't they? They really were. I mean, the PSG game, he keeps talking about with Arne Slot. But it was the turning point in the season. It really was. It completely changed him. He's never stopped talking about PSG since that game. And it's completely changed him. And he's gone away from what actually won him the Premier League, because the league was done. The league was done then. And I said before, he's tried to turn us into PSG. He's actually turned us into PSV. We're terrible. We're actually terrible. We've been getting away with it. But there is another problem that we have. I mentioned that 2005 Champions League team. That team was solid defensively. The final was crazy. Okay, we conceded 3 goals. But it was all about keeping a clean sheet in the run-up to winning that. 2 clean sheets against Chelsea in the semi-final. It was about keeping a clean sheet. We went to Turin against Juventus in the quarter-final. Was the last 16, whatever it was. And kept a clean sheet. 0-0 draw, got us through. This team, it's not about we have to outscore everyone because we're not creating enough chances. We're not scoring enough goals. It's not about we have to keep clean sheets because they're not good enough defensively. So there's nothing really for the team to lean on. We look at Arsenal. I give Arsenal... I just can't stand Arsenal, especially the way they play football. It's just shocking. But when it comes down to it, Arsenal can lean on the fact that they're very tough to break down at times. Now, yesterday, Man United scored 2 worldies. 9 times out of 10, that doesn't happen. Arsenal can say, look, lads, you're not going to score against us. Liverpool don't have that. We're too easy to play against. Teams are not afraid of us. Dermot says, where did we finish in the league? We won 2005 Champions League. We finished 5th. But, as I keep saying, that team, it was all about defending. Benitez was all about keeping clean sheets. Be tough to beat. This team is not that. And we're not playing like we're going to score 4 or 5 goals. So every game we're going to have to win every game 4-3. That's not going to happen, people. We're not scoring enough. We're not creating enough. Anyway. Benny says he's lost the dressing room without a doubt. I think it's a big week for him. 2 home games. We have to win on Wednesday night because it would be embarrassing not to, especially with the form that we're in. And then the Newcastle one. Could be anything. If he has lost the dressing room, those 2 games will show. What do you think he's afraid to take Mo Salah off now? I was shocked that Mo Salah played the full game the other night. I was absolutely shocked. I mean, he was terrible. The first 25 minutes, he got in behind a few times, and then that was it. And his passing is shocking. He can't beat a player anymore. But yeah, he didn't take him off. Do you think he's afraid? Do you think that, that the pressure from the media with the whole Mo Salah thing is it getting to him now? Because if that's the case, then that's a worrying sign for him, because the manager has to stick to what he believes. And if he felt before the whole drama that Mo Salah needs to not play or he needs to come off or whatever, and then he changes it to like, I can't take him off now. That's not good, people. That's not good. That's a manager now that's, he's not trusting his own instincts because of outside noise. So that's a problem, because for me, I was shocked. Absolutely shocked. Now, we all know he loves Gakpo. But to not take Mo Salah off, I think it was something to do with what went on. Because he was terrible. He was absolutely shocking. We're playing Wednesday. Wednesday at 8. Every Champions League game is on Wednesday at the same time, because it's the last game in the league phase. So the only game we'll get to watch this week will be the Liverpool game. David says we had a natural Salah replacement with Harvey Elliott. No, we don't. I don't really agree with that, to be honest. I never thought Harvey Elliott was good enough for Liverpool. I always thought he was better off the bench. Chiesa is very similar. I think Frimpong. Now look, the numbers that Salah got, it's never going to be, we're never going to get a player to do that again. That was crazy. The numbers that Salah was getting. So if we're trying to replace that, we're going to struggle. But Frimpong out there looks dangerous. He can beat a player. He's lightning quick. He's not going to get the goals or the assists, but who is? But that is another problem in the summer. That's another problem that we're going to have, because Salah will leave in the summer, and I think it's probably time for him to go too. But that's another problem. Okay, is Frimpong going to be the replacement, or are the club going to try and get somebody else? Marcus says, have you seen the links of Trent to us? I think it's bullshit personally. I seen that today, actually, yeah. I think it is a bit of nonsense as well, to be honest. I don't know where this story came from that he was told to leave the club. I can't see that happening. I really can't. I mean, I know he didn't cost them, what was it, 10 million or whatever. It's not a lot of money. But for a player of his talent, of his quality, and to only give him, 6 months? I can't. I honestly couldn't believe that now. I think he's class. He can't defend, but we know that. Real Madrid knew that. Penny says, get us through the last 16, then sack him and give Xavi 2 months with the squad to prep for it. No, look, I'm convinced, people, as long as Arne Slot has a chance, a realistic chance of getting top 4 or top 5, the club will stick with him. I'm convinced, unless the results just get where it's just, this can't continue. I'll tell you what really does bug me, though. When people are comparing it to Jurgen Klopp when he had those couple of bad seasons. I mean, after we won the league in 2020, it was a terrible season. We lost 6 home games in a row. But every single, and no Liverpool fan was saying Jurgen Klopp needs to go. Okay, and people are saying, oh, well, why didn't you say that about Jurgen Klopp? Let me explain, people. People are not adding context to this, and it annoys me. That season, Virgil van Dijk was in his prime and he got injured for the season. Joe Gomez was his centre-half partner. He gets injured for the season. Fabinho was one of the best holding midfielders in Europe. He had to go play centre-half. So we were missing him in midfield. Every single Liverpool fan knew it was because of injuries. Okay? Also, there was no fans. Now, I know people say, but that's the same with everyone. Yeah, and yet we shouldn't have lost 6 home games in a row. But every single Liverpool fan was saying, this team, this manager, Jurgen Klopp is all about the fans. We missed the fans in the stadium, probably more than anyone. Okay? So that is why. Jurgen Klopp won the league after 30 years. He won the Champions League. Played some of the greatest football you will ever see in your life. Of course, Liverpool fans were never going to say Jurgen Klopp has to go. Then in the season when we finished 5th, and Jurgen Klopp, people were saying it's going to be Jurgen Klopp's last season, he's going to walk away. But no Liverpool fan was saying he should be sacked. And people are saying, well, why didn't you say it that season? You're saying it about Arne Slot. Why didn't you say about Jurgen Klopp? Let me explain this one. Every single Liverpool fan knew it was because of the midfield. The club did not invest at the right time to get new players in midfield. What happened? Jurgen Klopp decided to stay one more season to sort it out. He got 4 brand new midfielders. We were back in a title race and we won a trophy. Liverpool fans, they know exactly what is going on, people. That is why we were not saying Jurgen Klopp needs to be sacked. This is not good enough. We knew the reason. We needed better midfielders. What is the reason this season? We can't defend. We can't attack. We have quality players and nothing is going right. That is the difference. It just bugs me. People are not adding context to it. It's the same when we won the league in 2020. The following season was a disaster. Liverpool have been bad champions. Add context, people. Injuries. The injuries we got that season were shocking. But no, people don't mention that. But when they mention it this season that Liverpool have been bad champions, unfortunately, I have no defence. It's not injuries. It's not because there's no crowd there. It's because we are crap. I'm fed up, people. I am fed up. Let's make sure you get the likes up, everybody. Right, be honest with me now, people. We've got 63 in the chat. Let's get into the comments. Where are we finishing this season? Be honest now. Be realistic. Where are we going to finish? Where in the table? I am going to say we are finishing... I think we're going to finish 7th. I think 7th, people. I think 7th. '20th. Harsh. Maybe next season. 5th. Marcus is going 5th. Phil is going 5th. Gilson's 44 is going 7th. Yeah. 7th if nothing changes. Dermot would be happy with 5th. Yeah, I'd take 5th. It's Champions League place. I'd take 5th as well. Correct, Edo. 100%. Mr. Bio Blue says 6th. Hesh says a fight between 4th and 5th. Dave says 7th to 10th. I'm not going to contradict you there, my friend. No way. We're just going to... I just think it's going to get... I think it's going to get worse. We've been getting away with it against Burnley at home. We got away with it against Leeds. Leeds scored. It was offside. But I mean, they had the ball in the back of the net. Burnley. Couldn't even beat Burnley. We've been getting away with it. Marcus says Chelsea will drop, so he thinks 5th. Finished 7th, winning 7th European Cup 7 years after we last won it. I like that. United fan is in. This man is happy. This man is happy today. A lot happier than we are. Man United are back. And it annoys me. I'm not going to lie. It really does. It worries me. It worries me going forward. I mean, you can almost you almost know what's going to happen with Man United, right? They're going to have an unbelievable end to the season. They're going to get top four. But Man United, because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they won't give the job to Michael Carrick. They'll get somebody else. It'll be a disaster. And then they'll say, we should have gave it to Michael Carrick. That would be funny. Glory, glory, Man United. Keep that to yourself now, my friend. I'm going to win the league. You're in a title race now, to be fair to you. The way Arsenal played yesterday. We are a shambles. I think Slot be gone by next week. See, people, you can lose any game. It's the Premier League. You can lose a game in the Premier League, okay? But this has been happening all season, and we've been getting away with it. We've lost 7 times this season, and all of those 7 defeats, they've all been pretty similar. Can't defend counterattacks, can't defend set pieces. 3-0 at home to Nottingham Forest, 3-0 away to City. Late win for Palace, late win for Chelsea, late win for Bournemouth. They've all been very similar. It's just so disappointing. So disappointing. Of all the managers in the league at the start of the season, I thought Arne Slot was the one that does not have to worry about his job. That man's job is safe for at least the next 10 years. At least. This is my worry as well. Governators says, unfortunately, I can see this being the old guards last season. Alisson, Virgil, Robertson and Salah. Look, I mean, as I said earlier, Salah will go. I think Virgil will stay, but he's not the player he was. Robertson will definitely go. I hope Alisson gets another season at Liverpool. Honestly, we are in trouble once that man leaves. And this is the worry. This is the worry that we have. Because it's okay. At the moment we're saying we need a centre half, which we do. But we're almost saying someone to go alongside Virgil van Dijk. But that's not going to last forever. And I think this summer, if they don't get the replacement for Van Dijk in the long term, it's going to be a disaster. I'm not saying Van Dijk will leave in the summer, but they have to start be thinking after Van Dijk. This is the summer to do it now. You can't keep waiting. Robertson, they have kind of got his replacement in Kirkes. Alisson, they think they have the replacement in Marmadashvili. I don't think he's anywhere near him. But anyway. But they have to start thinking long term when it comes to Virgil. But I do think he will stay. But you see the drop off from him this season. The Salah one, probably Frimpong. Phil says we have conceded 5 90-plus minute goals so far this season. And I'm guessing they all were drop points then, either defeats or a draw. Remember the one against Fulham? It's... you don't mind conceding a goal in the 91st minute if it's to make it 4-1 to Liverpool. And every game this season, people, this is another big worry. Every single game this season, bar maybe 3-4, going into the 90th minute, it's been up for grabs for both teams. Something has been up for grabs, whether it's a draw or a win for either side. That's a big worry, because the first 5 games of the season we're getting away with. Last minute winners. They're great when they happen. Brilliant. Absolutely unbelievable. But we could have dropped points in every single one of those games. And why is it like that? The signs were there. We got away with it. We need big help. The thing that really annoys me, every single game, doesn't matter who we're playing, doesn't matter where the game is, I'm never confident anymore. Never confident. Doesn't matter if we're playing Wolves or home. We know going into it, it's just going to be a struggle. It's just going to be a struggle. Excuse me. You know, it shouldn't be like that. We're good enough to be beating these teams easy. But we're just all over the place. Well, we're good enough on paper to be beating these teams easy. But we're just all over the place. The thing that really disappointed me as well the other night, Liverpool got back into the game 2-2. And then it was pretty much all Bournemouth, really. Or it was more end to end. It wasn't like Liverpool were, oh no, Liverpool are going to get a winner here. It wasn't like, oh, another shot, another great save. We never even looked like scoring after it went 2-2. Never. Wirtz had that chance. The keeper saved it. But he should be saving it. But Bournemouth had that chance to make it 3-2 that went wide. They obviously scored. They just never sustained attacks after it went 2-2. Never looked like scoring. A lot of passing. And then they just completely lost their heads then at the end. It was like as if they were just, well, we're not winning the game now, so there's no point in defending. Well. Not switched on. Not physical enough. They have asked, do you think Slot will last until the end of the season? I'm going to say no. Because I don't see it improving. I don't see the performances improving. I don't see the results improving. We're going to win. We could beat Newcastle. But then we could follow that up with a draw against a team we should be beating or whoever. So, I've said it before. I think the club will stick with him as long as we have a realistic chance of getting top 4. But because of the way we're playing, because of the way we've been getting away with it, I just think the results are going to get bad. I really do. We're playing some tough games. Phil says we should try to sign Brighton's head of recruitment as they find absolute ballers. This is the thing that annoys me, okay? It annoys me. Why are Brighton finding these unbelievable players? Now, I know people might say it's a big step up to go straight to Liverpool, go to Brighton, you know, you learn your trade, get used to the Premier League, all of that, and then you make the step to Liverpool. But, like, just take a chance on one of them. I mean, look at the quality that Brighton have sold in the last, 4 or 5 years. Unbelievable. And they're going to do it again this summer. Brighton could bring in 200 million with the quality they have. So, I don't know, I think it's laziness. As I say, it's a big step up to go straight to Liverpool or Man United or Man City or whoever, Arsenal. But to me, it's just laziness. All the big clubs are just looking at Brighton, Crystal Palace, Brentford. Who've they got? Yeah, we'll take him. I don't know. I'd love for the club to sign. Remember, Kante, the French second division. Now I know he went to the Championship with Leicester. I get all that. But I mean, that man was a genius. What a player! And not one big team took a chance on him. Chelsea waited until he was established at Leicester. I'd love for these clubs to just say, no, this man is good enough. Maybe not quite yet, but we're going to give him a chance. I don't know. Laziness. Yeah, Dave makes a good point. Bournemouth were in the same position with recruitment. We took Hughes from there, and look what happened. Recruitment wasn't... It's not been that bad as far as the quality of the players. The problem is the squad and the setup, the tactics, the system. When you look at players individually, not bad. But the way they're playing, the setup, the style, it should be better. It should be better, people, and that comes back to the manager. It should be better. Like, what is the chances that all of these players, as individuals, are not playing good? What's the chances of that? You get 1 or 2, but every single one of them not playing well. Something's not right. You look at Man United, you could say the same about Man United when Amorim was there. Every single one of them playing absolutely woeful. Change a manager and all of a sudden every single one of them is playing like the Harlem Globetrotters. Now the players do need to look at themselves, obviously, but you know, that's not been good. Podge says we have no team, no depth at creating pressure for the first team places. Yeah, the players are too comfortable with it. That's another word I've used all season long, people. Casual. Every single game, it's too casual with them. Too casual. Defensively, too casual. Attacking, too casual. Furtz is just, he's just running around. Little 5-yard pass here, little 10-yard pass here. No intensity. No urgency. All over the field, just too casual. I've used that word so many times this season. At this point, I just want Villa to win the league. Unfortunately, that won't happen. They're having an unbelievable season, they really are. But I just don't trust them as the season goes on. You know, if they're, say it gets down to a point or something, if they have a home game that they should win, that's when they drop points. I just wouldn't trust them. Is it still 1-0? It's half-time in the Everton match. It's a good result for us, people. We're actually looking over our shoulder at Everton. I said it before, I'll say it again. That is typical Everton, though. Win that game and they're up to 7th. That'd be a big win for Leeds, though. Do you think Spurs will get relegated? They're 8 points off West Ham at the moment. I mean, they're absolutely woeful. They've lost 9 games this season. Liverpool have lost 7. Derek says, I hope City win it. The reason I want City to win it, right, is because there's no City fans around me, right? I don't work with any of them. There's one Man City fan where I work, right? Where I live, no Man City fans, right? But it's, if Arsenal do not win it, that is the bigger headline. If City win it, okay, fair play. Go and enjoy it. But if Arsenal don't win it, that is the bigger story. It will be everywhere all summer. Can you imagine? It would just be, it'd be everything. It really would, people. I'm not joking you. That would just be phenomenal. AFTV every day would be on. They're so confident, you see. They're winning the quadruple. Declan Rice is winning the Ballon d'Or. That's happening as well. Mikel Arteta is a genius. It's the bigger story if Arsenal don't win it. Stephen asks, what's your thoughts on Slot regarding tactics and man management? Pretty poor, to be honest with you. The tactics are woeful. The man management is shocking. Some of the things he's come out in his press conference, that comedy made about Calvin Ramsey, you don't need to say it. Okay, it could be true. There's better options ahead of him. Don't say it in the press conference. No need for it. We were just talking about it, Stephen, about was he afraid to take Mo Salah off because of all the drama before the African nations? Because that man should have been taken off against Bournemouth. He didn't take him off against Marseille, and that was his first game back. That to me tells me something. I think he's afraid to take him off. So, tactics, no good. Man management, at the moment, very questionable. Arsenal 4-peat finishing second. Oh, people, the meltdown would be unbelievable. It really would. It's up to City. It's up to City. Look, if Mark Gahey can make the difference to that defence, and they'll get players back, and if Rodri gets back to how good he was before the injury, if they can go on a run, Arsenal will feel the pressure. They really will. And as well, it depends on what way the fixtures fall. Because if Arsenal play first every time, that puts pressure on City. So I think Arsenal play first on Saturday. Yeah, Arsenal play away to Leeds on Saturday at 3, and City are away to Spurs on the Sunday. So if that had been the other way around, and all of a sudden there's only 1 point in it, pressure on Arsenal. So all of a sudden, when City play Spurs, it could be back to 7. So unfortunately, the way the fixtures fall, it does suit Arsenal at the moment. Dermot asks, what does Van Bronckhorst do? That is unbelievable question. Unbelievable question. That's the question of the day, question of the week, question of the month. What does he do? I don't think he got up off the bench once the other night. But I said this about Van Bronckhorst anyway. He's only using Liverpool as a stepping stone to get back into management. That's all he's doing. That's all he's doing. I didn't like the appointment. I thought, well, to be honest with you, because we were on cloud 9 after we won the league, I was thinking, wow, what a signing that is to be an assistant. Experienced ex-manager. But no, when you have a situation like that, you know for the fact Van Bronckhorst wants to become a manager again. He's only using it as a stepping stone. He probably took it thinking, well, Liverpool are going to win the league here. I'm going to look like a genius. Big clubs will come calling. He definitely doesn't look like a genius now, I tell you that. We still haven't won a league game in January, people. Isn't that shocking? We've only got one left, and that's against Newcastle. The last day of January. To try and win one game in 2026. In January. In the league. Absolutely shocking. I was watching Carragher's analysis. I must do a video of that. He was showing Bournemouth's counter-attack for the chance they had where they should have made it 3-2. Your man put it wide. And he said it's almost like you've got two different teams with Liverpool. It's all attack, and then you've got a few defenders at the back, but there's no balance. And he said the very same thing was happening in the first game of the season. How is that possible, people? How is that possible? The first game of the season against Bournemouth, Semenyo scored 2 goals. Semenyo's not even playing. He's gone. And Bournemouth was still able. 2 passes later, they should have scored. I think it was Gakpo had the ball outside Bournemouth's box. I think it was Gakpo. I'm not sure. I'm not blaming Gakpo, but Liverpool end up losing the ball. 2 passes later, or 3 passes later, and all of a sudden Bournemouth missed an absolute sitter. He should have scored. That can't happen, people. It can happen. Of course it can. But not every game. Not every game. If it happens every game, that's a problem. If it happened once every 5-6 games, okay, you can accept it. Not every game. Derek says we won 5 league games since September. Yep, we won 5 in a row. The last one being Everton at home, 2-1. Another terrible performance, hanging on at the end. Everton had a few half chances. I wouldn't say they had great chances, but they had half chances. They were putting Liverpool under pressure. And since then, it's 5 wins in 18 games. It's relegation form, people. It really is. Like, all jokes aside, it is relegation form. We've been getting away with it because the league is absolutely woeful. Oh, jeez, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Like, you look at City. How are City still in a title race? How is that even possible? With the last couple of months that they've had, the defeats they've had, they've looked so ordinary, but yet they're really in a title race. Only 4 points in it. How have Arsenal not already won this league? Oh, it's terrible. Stephen asks, quite tough mentally to go from champions to where and how Liverpool are now. Do you think the players are losing faith and trust in Slot? I think the problem that Arne Slot has is that the tactics are still the same all season long. The players have to be known. Well, they're not stupid, like. This is not working, people. This is not working. They're too open. Now, Arne Slot, to his credit, earlier in the season, when we were losing, what did we lose? 8 out of 10 games, whatever it was. He then decided, okay, we need to get a bit more solid defensively. He did, and we went unbeaten. The most underwhelming unbeaten run in history. But on Saturday, it was just back to the way it was before. Too open. So Arne Slot he does not know how to get this right. And I think he has the players. I'm not saying he has the players to go dominate, win the league, win Europe, all of that. But he has the players to not be this bad. To not have 5 wins in 18 games. I think, anyway. You know, this is not the squad that Brendan Rodgers had. Or Roy Hodgson had. It's not. It's not. It's not even close. The quality that's in that squad. But as I keep saying, the word I keep using, too casual. This Liverpool team are just too casual. Oh yeah, we'll be okay. Just pass it here, pass it there, run around a bit, jog a bit. No sprinting, no intensity. I mean, can you imagine the shouting that Jurgen Klopp would be doing at this team if he was standing on the sideline? I mean, the man would lose his voice. Just make sure you hit the like button, everybody. Let's try and get as many likes as we can tonight. I'll be back on Wednesday, of course, for the watch along. Who knows what's going to happen in that game? I mean, we should be winning that. We should be winning that at least 3-0. At least. But you just never know at Liverpool now. You never know. So it would be unbelievable if Aston Villa won the league. Who do Villa play? Brentford next. Jeez, you imagine that'd be 3 points for them. I mean, if Arsenal were to drop points next Saturday, Jesus, that would be unbelievable. It really would. Phil says the drop off this season plus players coming to the end of their careers could take us 2 to 3 seasons to recover. Yeah, it really could. It really could. I mean, it's another rebuild now in the summer. Look, as I keep saying, hindsight is a great thing. But why would you make so many changes? Look, Trent is a big one too. We miss Trent. Trent was the creativity in that team, and he's gone. And obviously we got Frimpong in there with Conor Bradley, but they're two completely different players to Trent. You know, I mean, the man was a magician with the ball at his feet. He was. And we do miss him. And then you get Wirtz, who, again, is quality. I'm not going to say he's not good enough. He's quality. But Liverpool last season didn't play that way. So why would you change it? I'll never understand it. Why you would change the way it was working for you. But here we are. Here we are. Stephen says, could be a case of what Amram was going at United, a decent squad with terrible man management and horrendous tactics. With refusal to adapt or change, could be the same with Slot. Perhaps he has no idea where to go from here. It's starting to look that way, Stephen, to be honest. Because it's not working. And when we were losing all them games, he did change it. We became tougher to beat. I mean, it still was underwhelming. I mean, we were drawing at like Burnley and stuff. But Saturday, it looked like it was back to the old way. When we were losing to Crystal Palace, losing to Brentford. That to me is very worrying, because you just wonder, like, Arne Slot, he's sticking to this terrible way of playing. It's like as if he just thinks, no, stick with it, it will work, we'll get there. You're not going to get there. You're not going to get there. It's not going to happen. You know, Jamie Carragher said it loads of times. He's saying it all season. He said it again tonight. This Liverpool team is not built for the Premier League. And that is a big worry, because they're Premier League champions. Why would you go away from what made you Premier League champions, which was intense? It was quick. It was quick pass and counter-attack, you know, fast. Now it's just so slow. And look, at the end of the day, I know Liverpool fans, including myself, we don't like the style. It's very slow. But for me, look, I'm old enough to remember, you know, Gerard Houllier, Rafa Benitez. That was terrible style of football. Terrible. But we put up with it because the results were decent. We were winning. So if Arne Slot is sitting top of the table playing this crap football, I will accept it. I know a lot of people might not accept it. They want to be entertained. I get that. But for me, if Liverpool are winning every single week, I'm happy. If Liverpool are top of the table, I'm happy. But this style of football is not producing wins. And that is what it comes down to. I don't necessarily want to watch Liverpool and just be entertained, because Liverpool could lose every game 4-3 and come away and say, what a game that was, but we didn't win. No. I would rather watch a boring game but Liverpool win. But this style of play is not getting results. There's too many, that extra pass, too many passes. It's not quick enough. It's not good, people. It's not good. This style is not producing wins. It's not producing chances. It's not producing goals. And it's not able to cope with the counter-attack. I don't know why they decided to change it. Because it's not just a personnel problem. Because in the summer, everyone was saying, wow, look at the players we're signing. We're signing quality. And it's just been a disaster, really. It really has. Thank you very much for the super chat. I don't understand why Liverpool fans are surprised at our position in the table. Our league performances have been pointing to this since December. Were people at the board hoping that Man United and Chelsea would continue to be shite? That is a good point. Because they probably were, to be fair. They probably didn't think Man United would turn it around with Amarim. They probably thought, no, Man United aren't in a top 4 race. That's not going to happen. Chelsea have just sacked Maresca. They're definitely not in a top 4 race. We'll be fine. And all of a sudden, new manager bounce. Man United look a completely different team. Now, we'll see what happens. Chelsea, they look decent. They really do. What's the Chelsea manager? I can never pronounce his surname. But anyway, he looks like he's getting a reaction out of him, positive reaction out of him. So yeah, maybe the board just looked at it and says, look, our competition for top 4 is Man United and Chelsea. We'll be fine, lads. We'll be fine. That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. Yeah, I know his name, Stephen. I can't pronounce it. Rosenier? I can never pronounce his name. Even the press asked him, how do you pronounce it? So it's a tough one to pronounce. I was watching the fan debate there last week. Jamie Carragher pronounced it completely different to the way other people were pronouncing it. So, but yeah, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I tell you, I think as well, he's not getting a lot of respect though. Rossinier, fair play to you, Stephen. Right, Rossinier, nice. Yeah, that does actually sound right. The lack of respect that he's getting, give him a chance. I mean, I was watching that fan debate. Rory Jennings absolutely despises him. I mean, it was shocking. It really was. I mean, he was calling him like a village idiot or something like that, or whatever it was he was saying. It was like, just give him a chance. You never know. You never know. Because that's what Chelsea are. Chelsea are they're a sacking club. Like, they're going to sack the manager. So it's not as if he's going to be there. That's it. I think he's got a 5-year deal or something. And everybody is saying there's no way he's going to be there in 5 years. Okay, so just see what happens. See what happens at the end of the season. Dermot has an unbelievable question here. If you were offered a Europa League place now and win the FA Cup, would you take it? That is a great question. I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yeah. OK Hack says no. I'm going to say yeah. It's a trophy. Look, the Europa League, here's the thing with it, right? For me, it would be embarrassing if Man United finished above us. It'd be embarrassing if Chelsea finished above us. But I don't honestly think it's as big a disaster as people think if you end up in the Europa League. Jurgen Klopp ended up in the Europa League in his last season. We won the league the season after. You know, everything is about recruitment. Sadio Mane joined the club when Liverpool weren't even in European competitions. You will get quality players. You won't get the superstars. And yeah, there is the argument if Liverpool weren't in the Champions League, they wouldn't have got maybe Virgil, they wouldn't have got Mo Salah. That's an argument. But there is still quality out there that will join you. I mean, Liverpool got the brand new midfield, the 4 new midfielders, Jurgen Klopp's last season, Europa League football. McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, they all joined Liverpool Europa League football. So I think because it's Liverpool are such a huge club, the goal is always to compete for the league and the Champions League. I think you could sell it to them. So yeah, an FA Cup, trophy. It'd be disappointing, but it's a trophy. Phil says, I hate Thursday night football. Oh, I hate the Europa League. But I just don't think it's as big a disaster as people think. I mean, people think if you finish in the Europa League, that's it. That's it. That's going to put us back 10 years. Jurgen Klopp finished in the Europa League, finished 5th. Then he finished 3rd. And then Liverpool won the league. You know, it's all about recruitment. You will get good players. You won't get the superstars. You won't. And some players won't join you because you've no Champions League. But you will still get good players. It's Liverpool. You know, sell it to them. You know, we're in the Europa League this season, but the goal to win the Champions League, to win the Premier League. Okay, Hack says as well, Champions League play Thursdays as well too. That's true. Very true. Which is madness, people. Cutie Pie says, I'm terrified Cole Palmer will move to United. I don't think that'll happen. Hasn't he got like a 8 or 9 year contract or something? Although there's probably a release clause in it of only about 100 million or something. But anyway, I don't think he's all that. I really don't. I think he's overrated. If he was in English, I don't think there'd be much about him. I think he's a decent player. I don't think he's this world-class player to go on about. I really don't. He's very injury-prone as well. A lot of injuries this season. He's a good player, don't get me wrong. And at times you watch him and it's like, wow, that was unbelievable. No, for me, no. I think he's a bit overrated. At my camera one says, 100% sure if we bring Prime Messi to the slot team, result will be the same. Jeez, that is a bit harsh now. Lionel Messi would get Wolves to the top of the table. That's how good that man is. Andrew asked, if people watch Kara's tactical video on us, shows how bad we are, and people are trusting Slot. I seen it earlier. The biggest problem is, it was the very same first game of the season. First game of the season. We're talking, 23 games ago. And it's the very same. Very same setup, very same tactics. We're wide open. Can't cope with the counter-attack. We look like two, as Carragher said, we look like two completely different teams. We've got all-out attack. Few defenders back. The balance is completely wrong. Stephen has to head off. Thanks very much for joining us. Make sure you hit the like button, everybody. I'm going to head off fairly soon. Bank holiday this weekend, people. Bank holiday. I've back-to-back bank holidays. Bank holiday this weekend, and then the Super Bowl is the week after. I always stay up for the Super Bowl. Every year. Take the Monday off. Because, of course, it is on at stupid o'clock in the morning. But, yeah, back-to-back bank holidays, so looking forward to that. Andrew had Australia Day yesterday. He's on holidays anyway. Look at you. Wouldn't mind a holiday in January, tell you that. Worst month of the year. Because teams use a low block, we are sixth. Yeah, well, the low block, it takes a lot to figure it out. Apparently it takes more than 23 games. But, yeah, it's tough. I mean, this is a new thing that has been invented this season. This so-called low block. Never heard of it before. Never seen a team do it. Amazing, really. And they only ever seem to do this so-called low block against Liverpool. Who knew? Even Steven Gerrard told him to show up about the low block. He needs to stop talking about the low block. I thought that was deadly from Steven Gerrard. Absolutely deadly from him. And Steven Gerrard even said it himself. When he was playing, he faced the low block. But you have to get on with it. Andrew says, looking at all the videos, there are 0 passing triangles in our system. How do you make decent passes with flat lines? This is the thing. It's too casual. There's no urgency. It's just, 5-yard pass here, 10-yard pass here. Pass it back to him. Everything Liverpool are doing, they need to do quicker. It's that simple. And the balance of the team is just way off. And that can't happen, people, in January. First few games of the season, okay, right. I remember the first game of the season, we didn't have Gravenberch, and everyone was saying, right, once we get him back, it'll be a lot better and all of that. But how can it be at 23 games into the season and it's still the same? And we're still conceding 3 goals. That's not right. Podge says we had no problem with the low block last season. Well, I heard Arne Slot being asked this, and he said because teams didn't expect, or maybe he didn't say it, somebody said it, because Jurgen Klopp was gone, and they didn't really think Liverpool were going to have a great season. Teams took them on a bit more, and they didn't really sit back that much, which I think is bullshit. The reason Liverpool didn't have a problem with the low blocks last season is because they moved the ball quickly. They were able to counter-attack, and they moved the ball quickly. Trent was there. One pass, Liverpool were in. And now, 57 passes, and Liverpool might get past their halfway line. That's the big difference. Luis Diaz. Salah was on fire last season. But whenever an attack from the opposition would break down, say at the edge of Liverpool's box, it would land to Trent. One pass. Remember that pass against West Ham? Genius. How many times did he do that last season? How many times did he do that in his career? One pass, Liverpool are attacking. The other side, Luis Diaz, Liverpool are attacking. Even Darwin Núñez, the pace. And that's gone. It's just slow build-up. Like the clip of Szoboszlai against Burnley when Liverpool have a counter-attack and it lands to Szoboszlai and he goes backwards. People, that can't happen. That's not right. Not right at all. You need to put fear into the opposition. That's another thing as well. People are not afraid of this Liverpool team. They're not afraid of them at all. They know exactly how to play them. When you go to Anfield, you sit back in the low block that Arne Slot is always talking about. And you play counter-attack. And that's it. It's the definition of insanity, people. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That is what has been happening this season. Insanity. So frustrating. What time are we now? It's 9:30 now, people. I'm going to head off. Thanks very much for joining us. I'll be back Wednesday for an old watch along. I mean, it has to be 3 points for Liverpool. You know, forget about where we are in the Champions League and all of that. It just has to be 3 points. Okay, we're at home. We have to get back to winning ways. Everton 1-1. Everton will get a winner now, guarantee you. There'll be a point behind us, which makes it even worse. Now we're looking over our shoulder at Everton. That's embarrassing, people. Man United gone ahead of us, and Everton a point behind us if they get a winner, which they probably will. What's left? About 10, 15 minutes. Okay, Hack said enough. Thank you very much for joining us. Right, people, heading off. Thank you very much. And I will see you, hopefully, on Wednesday for 3 points for Liverpool. But it'll probably be a difficult game. But yeah, thanks very much for joining.